Welcome to JustFeg Network TV, a place where you can get the latest information on things happening around the world. And you are in the right place. Please click the red subscribe button and also press the bell icon next to it so you can be notified for an update on any published news. Professor Anjo Abdullahi, former Vice-Chancellor of the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, and the leader of the Northern Elders Forum, in this encounter speaks on the recent Shiite protest that claims lives in Abuja and hoping that the federal government is playing politics with the continued detention of the leaders of Islamic movement of Nigeria. Sheikh Ibrahim is Zakizaki because of Saudi Arabia. He blamed what he called the rubber stamp House of Representatives for not living up to expectation as the custodian of rule of law, but supported the president by advising that El Zakizaki should not be released. Nigeria has been going from one problem to the other, from X-Men menace to banditry, kidnapping, and just recently the Shiites were in the news of protesting the continued detention of their leaders. Innocent people lost their lives in the process. We have laws in this country. Nigerian citizens are to be treated within the ambit of the law of this country. Innocent people are losing their lives, and currently what is happening with the Shiites is that they don't seem to be treated as Nigerian. They have rights, and their rights should be recognized and given to them. We have been watching this thing for a long time. Their matters has been in court for years, and their leaders has been granted bail for 3, 4, 5 years. Why are court ruling not being respected? Of course, it is not only the Shiites who are denied their basic rights and their fair hearing. Even Dasuki has been in detention after the court granted him bail to go for the medical. They refused to release him. Are we now a lawless country? Why are we not obeying court order? The case of the Shiites is even different. It is a religious group. Why are they treated differently within the laws of Nigeria? These are the kinds of things that produce a resistant group we have today as Boko Haram. When it started, they were not treated like human beings. Rather, they started killing them left, right, and center. Of course, they organized themselves and started fighting back, and they have been fighting back till today. So if they are not careful and they keep pushing these boys, they will have problem. These boys even have an ideology, unlike Boko Haram, which had none until much later when they link up with other international groups. If they push this one, I think they would be surprised. So basically, the way they are treating them is wrong. They have rights. If they have misbehaved, they should be treated according to the law of the country. There were court ruling, so many court ruling in their own case that have been ignored by government. The federal government tried to explain why Zakizaki was not released after the court order, so they have no explanation for this. They have no justification. This man was granted bail. Judgment was given against the government in terms of how they treated them. They were supposed to be given compensation. They decided that a man who was attacked in his house and with his wife will be charged for committing arson outside. These are fabrications. Politically, I don't know why these issues are being politicized. They are not the only Islamic sect in the country. They are not the only religious sect. So why are they being treated differently from the laws of Nigeria? What is it about Zakizaki that even Christians are saying, leave this man? Is it not common sense? It is our laws that are being bastardized. The courts have made a pronunciation for his release. Why is it not released? This is a country where, as far as I'm concerned, the rule of law doesn't exist. Because if it does, there is no reason anybody, government or otherwise, should ignore the court's decision. Is there something else about this group that is making government afraid? Something else people don't know? It is all about intersectarian rivalry, and government has decided to be against them in favor of the sect that is against them. There are Islamic sects that are against the Shiite group, and apparently these other groups have the ears of the authority, and that is why the authorities are virtually against Shiites, because other sects are against them, and that is very shameful. We're proscribing the group Bring Peace. It is a religion organization that exists in every part of the world. The whole thing now is international. You know, Iran is a Shiite country, and Iran is not friendly with many countries around the world, particularly Saudi Arabia, United States, and so on. It is this international politics that is playing out here. But you cannot deny people their rights to religions and worship. People should worship the way they want. What is the bitterness all about? To me, it is sheer bitterness. The leader of the Shiites was my student in Ahmadu Bello University, where he studied economics. The Shiite sect in Islam has been in existence for over 1,000 years, and there are Shiite groups around the world, and countries that are virtually Shiite countries. Iran is one of them. Iraq is one of them. Syria is one of them. So what is the problem? To me, the authorities are clearly biased in favor of other Islamic sects. But you are aware the House of Representatives supported the president's actions that Zakizaki should not be released. The House of Representatives is supposed to be the custodian of the law of the country. Should they deny people their rights? What is playing out is politics. And I can understand that because the relationship between this government and the new National Assembly is different from that of other assembly. This is a rubber-stamped National Assembly. It is up to them to manage the country as they wish, but they should also be prepared for the consequences. Around this time in 1966, the problem that led to the Civil War was building up. Today, we have all manners of things happening: kidnapping, banditry, herdsmen, menace, and people are begging to mention war again. I was aware of these things when the Civil War was fought. I was a presiding officer in 1959 general elections. I have been very much part of the system for a long time. In my mind, I have never seen a country that is in kind of chaos that Nigeria is now. They have never been in the time in this country we had this kind of confusion like this. We have now, and it is not a good omen at all. And another thing is that you journalists are part of the crisis we are having in this country today. How? Journalists are taken aside in their reports and they are not honest. Journalists should insist that the law of this country be obeyed at any time. But if people, for selfish and biased reason, take sides that are obviously unjust and unfair, like in the case of Shiites, things can only get worse. I don't know the population of Shiites in this country, but they must be in large number. If the journalists sit down and objectively analyze these things, they discover that a lot of things go wrong because people decide not to obey the law, the rule of law, or the court ruling in this country. You cannot be anxious to say that people should go to the court and yet you don't obey court order. What sort of things is this? Would you say some advisors of the government are not doing their job? It is not just that. You people know what has been going on in the past 4 years. The list of ministers has been released, for instance. But is there any change? We are back to square one. The media is part of the problem. The editorial policies of newspapers are part of the problem. Your employers have friends in government and therefore you are restricted. This is a problem because there is no free press in Nigeria. You only have the press that dances to the whim of those that finance the establishment. It is not like this in another country. But Nigerians has groups of elders that needs to be advising government from time to time. Nigerians don't respect elders. Are we not the one being abused all over the place? Afenifere is being abused. Ainza is being abused. And Northern elders and ACF are being abused. They are abusing elders all over the place and nobody wants to hear the truth. Your group Northern Elder Forum were abused maybe because you asked the Fulani in the south to return home. This is exactly what I was saying. I was the person that made the statement, but the reporter published a different thing to remove an important word from my statement. I said if the Fulani living in the south, wherever it is in the south, feel threatened in their environment and they don't think they have protection of the constituted authority, they should find safer ground. That was all I said. But that reporter removed it, if twisted, the statement by saying NEF gave the order. That was bad. Why should my statement be distorted to create tension in the polity? They have been talking about protecting Nigerians for many years, but things are only getting worse. So people should find a solution. If Zakizaki was your student, then there must be something you know, which is perhaps why the government is afraid of releasing him. I think the government should tell us what they are afraid of. If one commits an offense, he should be taken to the court. The court decide their guilt, and if the court says no, they are not guilty, they should be released on bail, and the court order should be obeyed. If they know something, they should appear before the court to say what they know. Government should convince the court why the man should not be granted bail. But if the court has issued an order, it should be obeyed. Otherwise, you are denying the fundamental rights of the person you are holding. You should go and ask the elders you have chosen. Thanks to all my listeners today. What do you think about this news, and what is your own opinion? Feel free to drop your comment below. Subscribe to my channel, as well as to press the bell icon to get more updates whenever I post any videos. Bye.